Any reflections from the weekend against Burnley?
Yeah, there's always reflections, things for us to learn and improve on, and of course things that we can do slightly better. I think there was a lot of good things in the performance. Of course, we wanted to create a little bit more and have a bit more of a threat, but I still thought we had enough within the game as we scored and had possible penalty and a few breakaways where we thought we could have and should have done better. So yeah, we've not beat ourselves up too much. We're disappointed and frustrated, obviously, but it's more of a learning curve, and look to go again come Boxing Day.
Nice one. Talking of Boxing Day, sellout crowd. What's it like to be at home on Boxing Day?
Yeah, it's always got that special feel about it. Boxing Day always has. That the tradition and within the game and for what it stands for, it's always got that special feel. So to have a full house, for us to be at home, great game for all of us, for the players especially, to sample that atmosphere and feed off it, use the energy. As players and staff and the supporters, I've said it all the time, is we need to work together and create energy for each other and feed off it both ways. So great game for us. It's there for us to go and play well and prepare right and be in the right frame of mind and physically right to go and perform well.
What do you expect from Wigan?
Yeah, obviously Colo's gone in and changed a few things. I watched them closely the other night. Obviously I watched both the games, but watched them closely the other night against Sheffield United, and I thought they were quite unlucky really in the end to come away with what they did and caused Sheffield United a lot of problems. So it'll be a good test for us. Good test for us. Colo, obviously a good coach, and now going into management. So it'll be good to see him. First of all, we were on the pro license together, so I know him well. And it's good to see young coaches getting a chance in the game. So it's a good game for us. Good to see Colo, but it'll be a good test for us, because there's not loads to go on. There's not a lot we can prepare for. We've got a short little glimpse of what they're trying to do, and again, it's about us trying to do what we're good at and keep improving on what we're doing.
You get 2 months into the job, just your reflections on it so far?
Reflections, could be a long answer. I think first and foremost, I'm really enjoying it. I feel really comfortable. It feels like I've been here a lot longer than that, in a good way. I feel really settled and things will feel like we're in a good place. Without being satisfied, I've said that a lot as well. If we're not satisfied with what we've done so far, or by any means, but it's there's lots of good signs and we're looking forward. So positive, really positive. It's the cluster of games, then the break, so we could do a bit of training and get to know each other that little bit better. And I feel like I said there, it's feel like I've been here a lot longer and we're settled as a group of players, staff, which is important.
Obviously, home Boxing Day, Wigan struggling, despite being at home. Something I guess you can't take for granted.
No chance. You can't take anything for granted in football, never mind in this league. So it's we got to be right. We've got to be right ourselves. We've got to be the best version of ourselves. Mentally, as much as anything this time of year, it's easy to get distracted, and that's our responsibility as a group, to be in the right frame of mind and prepared right to be able to perform.
What are your Boxing Day memories as a player? Do you have any standout memories of games that?
Any standout memories? I haven't really, I don't think. I think we beat Newcastle 4-3 at Old Trafford once and scored in the 93rd minute for a winner. I think that was Boxing Day. It was definitely Christmas. Maybe that's a standout one. But they were always. I know as a player, I always really enjoyed it. Actually, I always enjoyed the challenge of, like I've just spoke about there, the possible distractions and who could prepare the best for myself as an individual and as a team and be ready and not let anything dilute your performance or your preparation. And you might have to have a slightly different Christmas day and celebrate Christmas in a slightly different way, but at the same point it's I always enjoyed that challenge of being ready and challenging myself more than anything. So I think as a group of players will be fully prepared. They will be anyway, and it's a great game, full house. There's always a little bit of a special atmosphere in the and to be at home is really good for us. So we'll have to make the most of it.
Those sacrifices, is that something you've talked to the players about this week?
I've not had to go too big on it. I think it's just about focusing on what we need to do. I think what we've worked towards already in terms of how we want to play, what we're trying to achieve, our attitude and mentality towards that, and all the details that go with that of putting in place to get a performance from the game. And yeah, of course, it's the challenge. That's the part of being a footballer. That's you got to thrive on that responsibility and that role when other people are celebrating and doing other things. We got to have it head on a different place, and that's just how it is, and it's what we're here for.
Just asking about Josh Coburn. Obviously, he's Bristol Rovers doing well. Kieran had said in a meeting with supporters forum that the plan is for him to stay there. Is that confirmed?
Yeah, I think it's the best place for him to stay and enjoy the football that he has been doing all season and keep improving. I think experience is huge as a younger player, and it's great to see him getting a lot of experience. I think that'll help him in the long run, and when something's not broken, don't try to fix it. And certainly for the short term for Josh, then it's the right place for him.
Have you spoken to him personally since?
I haven't actually, no, because I didn't want to get too involved in terms of swaying from it. I think his head's in a good place, and he's performing, and he's got a role and a responsibility there that he's doing really well. So I think don't want to interfere too much. At the same point, he is our player, and we take care of him, and we obviously do look after him. So I'm well aware of that.
And just last one, obviously, Joey Barton has said all sorts. I mean, there was a Zlatan Ibrahimovic reference this week, and he's talked about playing for England. But obviously, not yourself, if you don't know him too well, but the other staff at the club, is he the type? Is Josh the type who will just? I think we got
to like careful not getting carried away with any young player. To be honest, I'm not speaking about Josh individual. I just think in any young player, you got to be very careful of too much too early and getting carried away. And we've certainly done that. We've got young players here, and we've got Hayden who's played a few games for us and doing really well. But who's to say what happens next? That's the challenge for all young players, to be in the right frame of mind all the time, and all sorts of things come into play. So I'm not getting carried away by any stretches. I love to see the young boys coming in and getting the chance and doing well, but being quite calm about what's next.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers.
You'll have played in many big atmospheres, Michael, and obviously Boxing Day with the sellout at Riverside will be a big one. From a player's point of view, do you almost have to, once you're on the pitch, just block that out and just focus on your gear?
Yeah, that's the challenge. That is our job. You got to enjoy the experience. Obviously, the atmosphere. You got to thrive off it, and you got to use that to give you that extra little boost. And of course, when the atmosphere is good, and it does give you that feeling that you got that extra little bit more to give, and the excitement almost. But at the same point, you got to. There's roles and responsibilities within the game that you got to fulfill, and for that you need that composure and that clear mindset of concentration to be able to do that. So there's a right balance to get.
Yeah, and just one away from the game this week was Massimo Luongo training up at Ipswich. Just ask you about that and the decision there to let him do that. Yeah,
that's pretty much it. You've said it really. Mass was obviously on a short-term contract with us, and trying to do what's best for him as well, and help him in his next step in his career. So he's training down at Ipswich, and hopefully it works well for him. I've enjoyed working with Mass, so hopefully he goes. Well, he definitely goes with our backing, and hopefully it works out for him.
Yeah, was that one where, because you obviously have that connection with Kieran McKenna, you were happy?
Yeah, to a point, but it wasn't. That wasn't. It's about what's right for Massimo. It's not about me and helping friends out in that regard. It's of course it helps when you got a link, but we're just trying to do the best thing for our players and for Mass.
Yeah, and we mentioned last week about wanting to keep hold of key players and important players, but is it inevitable in January, perhaps beyond that some players might have to go? You might have to let go of some players.
That's the nature of football, isn't it? Any transfer window, any football club, there's players that come, there's players that go. yeah, that's the decision we got to make. Big decisions at times, which we're fine with and comfortable with, and yeah, that's just balancing the squad and keep trying to improve and push players on all the time to be better. And we want to be better, you know. We want to be higher in the league. We want to be challenging and getting in the league above. So to do that, you got to revolve and you got to change things at the right time.
Yeah, have you already started for January at least? Them decisions in terms.
We started for January about as soon as I walked in the door. So it's not a last minute decision by any stretch. You know, I think them last minute decisions are very dangerous. So yeah, of course, there's a lot of planning goes into it.
Yeah. And just like seeing Michael, last chance obviously to speak to fans before Christmas. Do you have a Christmas message for supporters? Yeah,
of course. I think first and foremost, thanks for your support that you've given us so far. It's really been incredible, and hopefully you can enjoy the festive period as football comes thick and fast, and being at home for us is exciting. Hopefully we can give everyone something to shout about and make Christmas a little bit more special.
I was just going to ask you, Mike, about that. Is it a responsibility, or is it something to get excited about, the fact that the players that got on that pitch can give their lot of fans a really good Christmas present? You know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not part of the team talk by any stretch. You know, it's with respect. It's we got a game of football, and we it's a game that we want to win. Of course, there's add-ons to that, but that comes from winning. You know, so in terms of getting carried away from anything beyond that, how it affects people, and that's not right. Our motivation, it's business. You know, it has to be business. When I was talking before about the preparation and the challenges, the sacrifice you got to make as footballers. And as part of a football club, it's business. You've got to have that ruthless head on and be cold and calculated and perform. Of course, we do that well. We know what comes with that, and it's fantastic. And that part of it is to entertain. That's why we're here, to entertain and enjoy, and everyone come to the game and go home happy. So there is that. When you're in it, to be able to get to that, you've got to put performance together and win a game, and to do that, you've got to be in a certain frame of mind. You know, so we understand what it does and how we can affect people in a great way. So we look forward to trying to do that.
And obviously, a lot of games coming up in a short period of time, big games as well. You've made it sort of, you've basically been very consistent with the teams that you've picked. Is it a case of next week that there might have to be changes because of so many games?
Don't really see there's so many games, to be honest. I came in, we had 2 weeks, we had 5 games, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So I don't see the big fuss of being that busy. It's just a normal week. Monday, Thursday, Monday, loads of time to recover. We'll pick a team and we might make changes. I'm not saying we won't make changes by any stretch. We might make changes for the next one, or it might be the one after that. But I don't see the busy schedule being a busy schedule, to be honest. I think it's pretty normal.
But they're all, it's different spacing of games, though, isn't it? Does that change the preparation at all?
It is just a different day of the week, but it's the same amount of time between games. I think the way we look at it is that's gone back to before about, yeah, you can get caught up in the different scenarios, but basically it's a game, and 3 days later or 4 days later you got a game, depending on what falls. So that's just how we work. We'll be prepared for every game, and if we make changes, we'll make changes. It'll be for the right reasons, of course.
And finally, how's your 5K a day going?
Yeah, it's going all right, yeah. The old hips are a little bit sore at times, so sometimes the bike's taking over from the run. But yeah, it's challenging when it was so cold outside over the last week or two, so you got to be inventive a little bit. But yeah, good. It's a challenge of staying focused and staying on it and keeping going when the days are harder than others. So, but yeah, enjoying it. It's for the good cause and the right reasons, so we'll keep going.